will start the second chapter of the geography book, Inside Our Earth. Okay, class 7 geography book, our environment. So the second chapter is Inside Our Earth. So today we will study this chapter. So in this chapter we will study about the different layers and the different materials of which the inside of our earth is made up of. Okay, মানে আমি ইয়াতে কি পঢ়িম আমাৰ পৃথিৱীৰ ভিতৰত কি কি আছে এইবিলাক আমি এইটো চেপ্টাৰত পঢ়িম. Okay, so the starting of the chapter, what it says: the earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet. It is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. So have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of the earth? What is the earth made up of? So here it says that our earth, it is the homeland, right? It is our homeland, means where we stay, and it is a dynamic planet. What do you mean by dynamic planet? Dynamic means changes. Okay, there are many changes occurring on the earth from time to time. Alright, so it is called a dynamic planet. There are many changes inside and outside. Amar পৃথিৱীত কি হৈ থাকে, চেঞ্জেছ আহি থাকে, ভিতৰত চেঞ্জেছ হৈ থাকে, বাহিৰতো চেঞ্জেছ হৈ থাকে. সেইটো কাৰণে আমাৰ এয়াৰটোক কি বুলি কোৱা হয়, ডাইনামিক বুলি কোৱা হয়. সো এতিয়া আমি ইয়াতে কি পঢ়িম যে আমাৰ পৃথিৱীটো কি দি বনোৱা হৈছে. অ'কে, সো আমি এতিয়া কি পঢ়িম, আমাৰ এয়াৰটো কি কি বস্তু দি বনোৱা হৈছে ভিতৰত. অলৰাইট, now we will start the first topic of this chapter, interior of the earth. Just like an onion, the earth is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. So our earth, it is made up just like an onion, right? Just as you can see in an onion, there are different layers, right? And one layer is hidden beneath the another layer. So just like that, our earth is also the same. There are many different layers of the earth, and all these layers are hidden one after another. ঠিক আছে, মানে আমাৰ এয়াৰটোও এটা পিঁয়াজৰ দৰে হয়. যেনেকৈ পিঁয়াজত বহুতকেইটা বাকলি থাকে এটাৰ পিছত এটা, তেনেকুৱা আমাৰ এয়াৰটোও বনোৱা হৈছে এটা লেয়াৰৰ ভিতৰত বেলেগ এটা লেয়াৰ. ঠিক আছে. The uppermost layer over the earth's surface is called the crust. It is the tiniest of all the layers. It is about 35 kilometers on the continental masses and only 5 kilometers on the ocean floors. So the uppermost layer of the earth, ঠিক আছে, সবতছে ওপৰৰ যোনটো লেয়াৰ আছে সেইটো কি বুলি কোৱা হয়, crust. Just as you can see in the picture here, এই ওপৰত যোনটো দিয়া আছে সবতছে ওপৰত যোনটো লেয়াৰ সেইটো কি বুলি কয়, crust বুলি কয়. ঠিক আছে. and it is the tiniest of all the layers. সবতছে পাতল হয় crustটো. okay, মোটা নহয়, বহুত পাতল হয়. আৰু এইটো কিমান হয়, 35 kilometers on the continental masses and only 5 kilometers on the ocean floors. মানে ইয়াৰ মোটাটো কিমান হয়, 35 কিলোমিটাৰ মোটা হয়. ঠিক আছে, তলত যোনটো কণ্টিনেণ্টত, মানে মাটিবিলাকত আমি য'ত থাকোঁ, আমি কণ্টিনেণ্টত থাকোঁ, ৰাইট, মাটিত থাকোঁ. চ' এনেকুৱা মাটিবিলাকত এইটো ক্ৰাষ্টটো কিমান কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ হয়, 35 কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ হয়. ৰাইট, এণ্ড অন দি অ'চেন ফ্ল'ৰ্ছ কি হয়, তাতে অ'চেনবিলাকত এইটো 5 কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ মাত্ৰ থাকে. অ'কে, চ' মানে এইটো কি হয়, চবতছে পাতল হয়. ক্ৰাষ্ট ইজ দ্য থিনিয়েষ্ট অফ অল দ্য লেয়াৰ্ছ. অ'কে, the main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. It is thus called Sial, silica and alumina. Alright, so the main constituents of this continental mass. Okay, মানে এই continental mass আমি য'ত থাকোঁ এই মাটিকেইটা, এই মাটিত মেইন কনষ্টিটুৱেণ্টছবিলাক কি হয়, চিলিকা আৰু এলুমিনা. সেইটো কাৰণে আমি ইয়াক কি বুলি কওঁ, চিয়াল বুলি কওঁ. অ'কে, যোনটো মেইন কনষ্টিটুৱেণ্ট হয় কণ্টিনেণ্টেল মাছৰ যোনটো ক্ৰাষ্টটো. অ'কে, ক্ৰাষ্টৰ কণ্টিনেণ্টেল মাছৰ মেইন কনষ্টিটুৱেণ্টটো কি হয়, চিয়াল. অ'কে, C for silica and Al for alumina. এইটো আমি জোৰা লগাই কি বুলি কওঁ, চিয়াল বুলি কওঁ. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica and magnesium. It is therefore called Sima, C silica and Ma magnesium. আৰু যোনটো অ'চেনত যোনটো আছে ক্ৰাষ্ট, okay crust to amar kot asile kibad asile right etu continental massot kiman deep asile 35 kilometers muta asile continentot aru ocean floorot kiman asile 5 kilometer asile so juntu etu continent okay continentor juntu mass hetu main constituent ki hoy sial silica aru alumina tar pisot juntu oceanot thake okay oceanic crust juntu he panir crust to ki di bonwa hoise silica aru magnesium okay and therefore it is called sima C for silica and ma for magnesium alright so these two are the main constituents one is Cl and another is sima Cl to kihor karne hoy continental massor karne aru sima to kihor hoy hetu oceanic crust to hoy okay keep it in mind what is Cl and what is sima Cl to continentor karne aru sima to oceanor karne so these two are the main constituents of the continental crust and the oceanic crust respectively understood just beneath the crust is the mantle which extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometers below the crust so now beneath the crust is the mantle okay you can see in the picture here crustor তলত কি আছে মেন্টেল আছে ঠিক আছে এই মেন্টেলটো ক্ৰাষ্টৰ তলত আছে আৰু এই মেন্টেলটো অলপ মোটা আছে মানে নহয় পিকচাৰৰ চাইছা এই yellow কালাৰৰ যোনটো দিয়া আছে yellow কালাৰৰ লেয়াৰ হেটো মেন্টেল হয় and this mantle is about how many kilometers 2,900 kilometers below the crust okay keep it in mind a mantle it is 2,900 kilometers and the crust it was 35 kilometers on the continental mass and 5 kilometers on the ocean floor and our mantle is 2,900 kilometers thick okay the innermost layer is the core with the radius of about 3,500 kilometers it is mainly made up of nickel and iron and is called knife Ni for nickel and Fe for ferrous that is iron so the central core has very high temperature and pressure as you can see in the picture here the core right it is in the center of the earth okay and it is a bit thick then it is thicker than the other two layers right etu he beleg duta layer hoche beshi sobotse ataitke beshi muta hoy right ei ronga color or jontu dia ase the red part the innermost part it is called the core so bhitoror juntu main center ot hetu ki koy inner core boli koy aru bahiror juntu jun to mane mental or logot boundary hoy ase hetu ki boli koy outer core boli koy right so this core is the thickest of all these three layers so a core radius to kiman hoy 3,500 kilometers okay so etu sobotse beshi thick hoy 3,500 kilometer and it is made up of nickel and iron alright and that's why it is called what knife nickel aru iron di bonwa hoy Ni for nickel and Fe for iron to ki boli koy ferrous alright hetu karone hetu knife boli koy aru ei central core to ki hoy yar temperature aru pressure to bahut high hoy right since it is in the center of the earth okay so here the temperature and the pressure it is very high so we'll move on to the next topic rocks and minerals the earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks any natural mass of mineral matter that makes up the earth's crust is called a rock rocks can be of different color size and texture so we have read earlier what is the earth's crust The earth's crust is the topmost layer of the earth. পৃথিৱীৰ যোনটো আটাইতকৈ যোনটো ওপৰত আছে ওপৰত যোনটো লেয়াৰ আছে সেইটো ক্ৰাষ্ট বুলি কয় ৰাইট সো এইটো আৰ্থ ক্ৰাষ্টটো বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ পাথৰেদি ভৰ্তি হৈ আছে ওকে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ পাথৰেদি এই ক্ৰাষ্টটো বনোৱা হৈছে okay it is made up of various types of rocks and all the natural mass of mineral matter okay all this makes up the earth's crust and it is called a rock মানে বহুত মিনারেল বস্তু ভর্তি আছে রাইট আমার পৃথিবীত সো এই যিমানটা নেচাৰেল মিনাৰেল বস্তু ভৰ্তি হৈ আছে আৰ্থ ক্ৰাষ্টত সেইটো আমি ৰক বুলি কওঁ, পাথৰ বুলি কওঁ। আৰু এই পাথৰবিলাক বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ হ'ব পাৰে। অ'কে, দে মে বি ডিফাৰেণ্ট ইন কালাৰ, চাইজ এণ্ড টেক্সচাৰ। সিহঁতৰ ৰংটো বেলেগ হ'ব পাৰে, চাইজটো বেলেগ হ'ব পাৰে আৰু টেক্সচাৰটোও বেলেগ হ'ব পাৰে। মানে আমি চুই পেলাই গম পাম যে কোনটো পাথৰটো কেনেকুৱা। অ'কে, there are three major types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. So there are three types of rocks. তিনিটা ধৰণৰ rocks আছে, and these are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. When the molten magma cools, it becomes solid. Rocks thus formed are called igneous rocks. They are also called primary rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks: intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. So, molten magma. You know what is molten magma? Lava. Have you seen volcanoes? Volcano dekhisane? Volcano jetia erupt hoy. Okay, when the volcano erupts, then lava comes out from the volcano. Right? So, ei lava to molten magma to jetia thanda hoy. When it cools down, then it becomes solid substance. Itu bostuto. Itu tumar lava hoy. Okay, এই ৰঙা ৰঙা যোনটো দেখিছা এইটো লাভা হয়, ভলকেনৰ পৰা তলত পৰি অহা লাভা। আৰু এই লাভাবিলাক যেতিয়া ঠাণ্ডা হয় লাহেকে, okay, when it cools down then it becomes rocks. So this is the igneous rock. Okay, it is formed from the molten magma. এইটো যোনটো magma হয় লাভা ঠাণ্ডা হৈ পেলাই এই igneous rocks টো formed হয়. So these igneous rocks, they are also called what? Primary rocks. Okay, primary rocks বুলি আমি igneous rocks কওঁ। আৰু এই igneous rocks টো দুটা প্ৰকাৰৰ আছে। One is called intrusive rocks and the other one is extrusive rocks. Alright, so we will read about this intrusive and extrusive in the next paragraph. So now we have known that when this lava, molten magma, when it cools down, then it becomes solid, and this solid rocks is the igneous rocks. Alright, and these igneous rocks, they are also called primary rocks, and igneous rocks are of two types: intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. Can you imagine lava coming out from the volcanoes? Lava is actually fiery red molten magma coming out from the interior of the earth on its surface. When this molten lava comes on the earth's surface, it rapidly cools down and becomes solid. Rocks formed in such a way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. So, as I have shown you already, the lava, the red fiery molten magma, right, that has come out from the what? Volcano. যোনটো সেই ৰঙা লাভা molten magma টো মই দেখাইছো নহয়, সেইটো যোনটো ওলাই আহে আৰ্থৰ যোনটো সাৰফেসত, পৃথিৱীৰ ওপৰত, okay, crustত, সেই মেগমাটো সোনকালে ঠাণ্ডা হৈ যায়। okay, সোনকালে ঠাণ্ডা হৈ পেলাই এইটো সলিড বস্তু হৈ যায়। তাৰপিছত সেই সলিড বস্তুটোৱে কি হ'ল আমাৰ igneous rock, আৰু এইটো কি বুলি কয় extrusive igneous rocks. Okay, we have found earlier that there are two types of igneous rocks, right? Intrusive and extrusive. So this molten magma which has come out to the earth's surface and has cooled down very rapidly is called the extrusive igneous rock. Okay, extrusive igneous rock মানে কি, যোনটো molten magma টো ভলকেনৰ পৰা ওলাই আহে তাৰপিছত সোনকালে ঠাণ্ডা হয়, সেইটো আৰ্ডৰ ওপৰতে থাকে। okay, আৰ্ডৰ সাৰফেসত থাকে সেই মেগমাটো, আৰু সেইটোৱে ঠাণ্ডা যেতিয়া সোনকালে হয় তে সেইটো আমি extrusive igneous rocks বুলি কওঁ। and they have a very fine grain structure, for example basalt, আৰু সেইটো একদম ধুনীয়াকে হৈ থাকে। alright, দেখাটো বহুত ধুনীয়া হয়, চুলেও মানে বহুত ধুনীয়া একদম মোটা সেইটো হৈ থাকে। alright, আৰু ইয়াৰ এক্সাম্পলটো কি হয়? basalt. The example of extrusive igneous rocks is basalt. Right, keep it in mind, it's very important. The example of extrusive igneous rocks, basalt. Itu hol tomar basalt rock. Right, example of extrusive igneous rock, basalt. The Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rocks. Right, so Deccan Plateau to kod ase western and southern India. Alright, so this Deccan Plateau, it is made up of mostly basalt rocks. Both kita basalt rocks at Deccan Plateau পোৱা যায়. So this is the Deccan Plateau. Okay, and this Deccan Plateau is located in the western and southern India. Okay, it is between the mountains of the western Ghats and the southern Ghats. And here, these rocks, these are the igneous rocks. Okay, ইয়াতে মানে বহুত volcano eruption হৈছিলে আগতে সিটোৰ কাৰণে volcanic eruptionৰ যোনটো molten lava, molten magma এইবিলাক আহি পেলাই ইয়াতে জমা হৈ গৈছে আৰু হেতু কাৰণে ইয়াতে বহুত কিটা আমি igneous rocks, that is basalt rocks, আমি এই Deccan Plateau পাওঁ. Sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the earth's crust. Solid rocks so formed are called intrusive igneous rocks. Since they cool down slowly, they form large grains. So, what happens? The molten magma, when it cools down inside the earth's crust, it forms the intrusive igneous rocks. Okay, extrusive মানে কি আছিলে? Earthৰ surfaceৰ যোনটো lava ঠাণ্ডা হৈ পেলাই পাথৰ হয় হেতু extrusive হয় আৰু intrusive মানে কি যোনটো লাভা আৰ্টৰ ভিতৰতে ঠাণ্ডা হৈ যায় হেতু কয় intrusive igneous rocks. Okay, this molten magma, it cools down deep inside the earth's crust. Alright, হেতু আৰ্টৰ ভিতৰতে থাকে বাহিৰত নোলায় বাহিৰত কোনটো ওলায় extrusiveটো ওলায় আৰু intrusive মানে হ'ল কি ভিতৰত. Okay, ভিতৰতে যোনটো লাভা ঠাণ্ডা হয় হেতু intrusive igneous rocks formed হয় আৰু হিয়তে কি হয় লাহে লাহেকে ঠাণ্ডা হয় এক্সট্ৰুসিভ বিলাক কি বহুত হুনকালে ঠাণ্ডা হয় বাহিৰত যোনটো লাভা বৈ আহে হেতু হুনকালে ঠাণ্ডা হৈ যায় কিন্তু ভিতৰত আৰ্ডৰ ভিতৰত ক্ৰাষ্টৰ ভিতৰত যোনটো লাভাটো ফৰ্ম হয় okay লাভাটো মানে যোনটো ঠাণ্ডা হয় হেতু লাহে লাহে ঠাণ্ডা হয় they cool down slowly and that's why they form large grains okay হেতু কাৰণে they become large grains means they form into a grain shape. Alright, aru granite is the example of this intrusive igneous rocks. Alright, granite to eta example. And grinding stones used to prepare paste, powder of spices and grains are made of granite. Aru a granite stone to kihor karone use kora hoy paste. Alright, for grinding spices, powders, paste. Okay. এই মানে মছলা টছলা খুন্দিব কাৰণে যোনটো পাথৰ শিলপাট্টা আমি যোনটো কওঁ ৰাইট খুন্দনি সেইবিলাক গ্ৰেনাইট ৰক দি বনোৱা হয় so the example of extrusive igneous rocks was basalt and the example of intrusive igneous rocks is granite. This is the granite rock. Okay, it's very beautiful and they are of different colors. This is a red granite rock, this is black and white granite rock, right? And there are also pink ones. So, এইবিলাক granite rocks বিলাক বহুত various colors or থাকে আৰু এইটো হল granite rocks দি বনোৱা এইটো শিলপাট্টা আৰু এইটো হল আমাৰ খুন্দনি right with this we used to grind spices হয় না নহয় আমি এইটো ঘৰত ইউজ কৰো কিহৰ কাৰণে মছলা টছলা এইবিলাক কিবা কৰিবৰ কাৰণে খুন্দিবৰ কাৰণে বাটিবৰ কাৰণে ৰাইট সো এইবিলাক কিহে দি বনোৱা হৈছে এই গ্ৰেনাইট ৰক্স দি বনোৱা হৈছে Rocks roll down, crack and hit each other and are broken down into small fragments. These smaller particles are called sediments. So the rocks that roll down okay from the mountains, what happens when they fall down? Then they crack and they hit each other. And while hitting each other, what happens? They break down into small fragments. Right, and these small particles, the small broken parts, they are called the sediments. So এই পাথৰবিলাক যেতিয়া ওপৰৰ পৰা তললৈ পৰি আহে তেতিয়া কি হয় এটাৰ লগত এটা খুন্দা খাই পেলাই কি হয় এটা সৰু সৰু টুকুৰা হেনেকে ভাঙি যায় আৰু এই সৰু সৰু টুকুৰাবিলাকক কি বুলি কয় sediments বুলি কোৱা হয় So these sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. These loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks. These types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. So these sediments, alright, the small broken parts of the rocks, what happens? They are transported to other places by wind and water. Okay, bota aru pani edi ei sediments bilak boi jay mane transport hoi jay eitu jagar pura antu jagale ei sediments bilak gusi jay aru ei horu horu loose sediments bilak ki hoy tan hoi pelai eta layers of rocks formed hoy. Okay, these loose sediments, they are compressed, right, and they are hardened to form layers of rocks. Eta hiyote ekelogot joma lage tetia hesa hesike hiyotor ki hoy layers of rocks hiyotor hoi jay mane etar tolot eta teneke pathor hiyotor form kore ei sediments keita eitu karne ei rocks bilakok ki buli koy sedimentary rocks buli koa hoy. Alright, since they are formed from these sediments, right, the sediments of the rocks, the small particles of the rocks, that's why they are called sedimentary rocks. So ekita hol tomar sedimentary rocks. These are the examples of sedimentary rocks. You can see the layers one after another. Etar tolot eta heneke layers formed hoi pelai ei sediments bilak joma lagi enokwa sedimentary rocks form kore paharor pura tolot nami nami ahi henokwa rocks bilak formed hoi jay. So these are the sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone is made from grains of sand. These rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. So the example of sedimentary rocks is sandstone, and this sandstone, it is made from grains of sand. So these rocks, the sandstone, it may also contain what? Fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms, okay, that once lived on them. মানে sedimentary rocks or example to ki hoy sandstone hoy aru ei sandstone bilakot ki thakisile plants, animals aru belek microorganisms bilak yate ugisile, right, hetu karne yate ki hoy fossil bilak thake ei sandstone rocksot ba sedimentary rocks bilakot fossils bilak lagi thake. So these are the examples of sandstone. Alright, these are sandstone rocks. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under great heat and pressure. So the igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, when they are put under great heat and pressure, then what happens? They changes into metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks bilak ki hoy jetia igneous rocks aru sedimentary rocks, okay, jetia ei duta rocksok ekdom bahut great pressure aru heat dia hoy tetia ei igneous aru sedimentary rocks bilak change hoi jay ki hole metamorphic rocks hole change hoi jay. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. When put under great heat and pressure, this clay, it changes into slate, buka etu ki hoi jay slate hoi jay aru limestone to marble hoi jay, sun bilak ki hoi jay marble hole convert hoi jay. Just like this, here the sedimentary rock, it has been turned into a metamorphic rock under great heat and pressure. These are the metamorphic rocks. When the igneous and the sedimentary rocks, they are put under great heat and pressure, then they form these metamorphic rocks. Ebilak hol tomar metamorphic rocks aru eitu hol marble. Okay, rocks are very useful to us. The hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. You use stones in many games. For example, 7 stones, hopscotch, 5 stones, etc. So what? Rocks, they are very useful to us, right? We use rocks for what? For making roads, houses, and buildings. Ghor, rasta aru building ebilak bonabo karne ami ki use koru ei dangor dangor pathor bilak ami use koru aru horu horu pathor bilak ami kod use koru khela khelute ami use koru ei khela bilak ami juntu khelu horu horu pathor loi নামটো কি দিয়া আছে ইয়াত পিট্টু কিটকিট গিট্টি এই সব খেলাবিলাক আমি সৰু সৰু পাথৰেদি খেলোঁ হয়নে নহয় তোমালোকে খেলা নে নাই ৰাইট সো ৰক্স বিলাক আমাৰ বহুত ইউজফুল হয় ডাঙৰ ৰক্স বিলাকৰো ইউজেছ আছে আৰু সৰু ৰক্স বিলাকৰো ইউজেছ আছে so here an important information is given about rocks right the red fort here it is made of red sandstone this one and the Taj Mahal it is made of white marble so keep it in mind okay etu monot rakhiba যে এই red fort to amar ki di bonwa hoise red sandstone edi bonwa hoise aru Taj Mahal to white marble edi bonwa hoise these two are very important points keep it in mind. You will be surprised to know that one type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation of the rock from one to another is known as the rock cycle. So as we have read already, we have seen that one type of rock it changes into another type of rock under certain conditions. Okay, and all these occurs in a cyclic manner, and that's why this cycle is known as the rock cycle. The process of transformation of this rock from one to another occurs in a cycle, and this cycle is known as the rock cycle. Okay, আমি পঢ়িলো যে এটা rock igneous rock sedimentary হৈ যায় আকৌ igneous আৰু sedimentary লগ লাগি পেলাই metamorphic rock হৈ যায় কেতিয়া যেতিয়া বহুত pressure আৰু heat দিয়া হয় isn't it so এইবিলাক মানে এটাৰ পৰা এটা হেনকা চেঞ্জ হৈ থাকে in a cyclic manner আৰু এই process of change to কি বুলি কোৱা হয় rock cycle বুলি কোৱা হয় so the rock cycle is shown here. From magma it becomes igneous rocks, from igneous it becomes sediments, then from sediments it becomes sedimentary rock, and from sedimentary rock it turns into metamorphic rock, and again the metamorphic rock under heat and pressure it becomes magma, and again the magma it again cools down and then turns into igneous rock. So this cycle it goes on, and so it is called the rock cycle. Magmar pura igneous rock hoy, igneous or pura sediments hoy, sediments or pura sedimentary rock hoy, ako sedimentary rock or pura aru igneous rock or pura log lagi pelai metamorphic rock hoy, ako metamorphic rock jetia bahut heat hoy tetia gorom hole etu ako magma hoy jay, ako magma tu thanda hoy pelai ki hoy ako igneous rocks hoy jay. So teneke mane ei cycle tu choli thake আৰু হেইটো কাৰণে এই সাইকেলটো কি সাইকেল বুলি কোৱা হয় rock cycle বুলি কোৱা হয়. You have already learned when the molten magma cools it solidifies to become igneous rocks. These igneous rocks are broken down into small particles that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. So যেতিয়া এই molten magma volcanoৰ পৰা ওলাই আহা magma lava বিলাক যেতিয়া ঠাণ্ডা হয় then it becomes igneous rocks. We have already studied. And again, when these igneous rocks are broken down into small particles and they are deposited and transported, then they form sedimentary rocks. এই igneous rocks ওপৰৰ পৰা যেতিয়া পৰি আহে পাহাৰৰ পৰা তেনেহলে তেতিয়া কি হয় হেইবিলাক ভাঙি যায় সৰু সৰু টুকুৰাত ভাঙি যায় আৰু এই সৰু সৰু টুকুৰাবিলাক ট্ৰান্সপোৰ্ট হয় আৰু ডিপোজিট হৈ যায় যে এটা জায়গা ডিপোজিট হৈ যায় এটা জায়গা জমা লাগি পেলাই তাতে কি হৈ যায় sedimentary rocks হৈ যায় and when the igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure they change into metamorphic rocks. Okay, when the sedimentary and igneous rocks they are under great heat and pressure then they become metamorphic rocks. Sedimentary আৰু igneous rocks যেতিয়া বহুত pressure আৰু heat face কৰে তেতিয়া হেবিলাক কি হৈ যায় metamorphic rocks হৈ যায় and the metamorphic rocks which are still under great heat and pressure melt down to form molten magma আৰু এই metamorphic rock to কি হয় আকৌ heat and pressure underত কি হৈ যায় magma হৈ যায় এইটো যোনটো metamorphic rocks ৰ পৰা এইটো আকৌ magma হয় গলি পেলাই আকৌ magma হৈ যায় lava হৈ যায় তাৰ পিছত আকৌ সেই lava টো যেতিয়া ঠাণ্ডা হয় তেতিয়া এটো কি হয় igneous rock হয়. Okay, so heneke mane ei cycle to choli thake the molten magma again cool down and solidify into igneous rocks. So this cycle goes on. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. So rocks they are made up of different minerals. Okay, and what are minerals? They are naturally occurring substances. Okay, these minerals they are made naturally and what they have certain physical properties. They have physical properties of their own and also their own chemical compositions. Different chemicals are also involved in these minerals. Okay, rocks bilak pathor bilak kihedi bonwa hoy bahut কেইটা মিনাৰেলছ দি বনোৱা হয় খনিজ পদাৰ্থ okay এইবিলাক দি মিনাৰেল ৰক্স বিলাক বনোৱা হয় আৰু এই মিনাৰেলছত কি থাকে নিজৰ ফিজিক্যাল প্ৰপাৰ্টিজ থাকে আৰু নিজৰ কেমিক্যাল কম্পোজিশন থাকে যিমান কেমিক্যাল লাগে হিমান কেমিক্যাল এই মিনাৰেলছ বিলাকত থাকে and these minerals are very important to humankind some are used as fuels for example coal natural gas and petroleum so these minerals they are very important to human beings okay because some of them are used as fuels while cooking at home and then for the petroleum okay driving cars these are used for example coal natural gas and petroleum all these are essential for human beings isn't it we all use this minerals to কি হয় খনিজ পদাৰ্থ বিলাক মানুহৰ কাৰণে অত্যন্ত জৰুৰী হয় দৰকাৰী হয় কিছুমান কিহৰ হিচাপে ইউজ কৰা হয় fuels ইন্ধন হিচাপত ইউজ কৰা হয় for example কি বস্তু coal natural gas petroleum এইবিলাক আমি ইউজ কৰো isn't it আৰু they are also used in industries iron aluminum gold uranium etc in medicine in fertilizers etc iron aluminum gold uranium এইবিলাকো আমি ইউজ কৰো কিছুমান কত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা হয় ঔষধ বনোৱাত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা হয় আৰু কিছুমান ফাৰ্টিলাইজাৰ্স খাৰ বনোৱাত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা হয় alright so overall these rocks are very important for us big rocks are used in building houses then small rocks we use them to play games and again these rocks they are also made up of different minerals and these minerals are very important to human beings we use them for different purposes so overall we can say that rocks are very important for us and there are three types of rocks igneous rocks sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks so now let us read about the different boxes do you know the deepest mine in the world is in South Africa. It is about 4 kilometers deep. In search for oil, engineers have dug a hole about 6 kilometers deep. Okay, so keep it in mind. The deepest mine in the world, it is in South Africa and it is about 4 kilometers deep. Alright, 4 kilometer deep hoy ase ei mine to. Aru etu kod ase South Africa ase. And why did the engineers dug it? They dug it in order to search oil right telor garne hote etu khundiaisile and the hole is about 6 kilometers deep to reach to the center of the earth which is not possible you will have to dig a hole 6000 kilometers deep on the ocean floor so to reach the center of the earth okay we will have to dig how deep 6,000 kilometers deep on the ocean floor and it is impossible right no one can dig this deep ami earthor center to pochibo karne kiman deep ami khundibo lagibo 6,000 kilometers ami deep khandibo lagibo aru etu impossible hoy so keep it in mind these 2 points the deepest mine in the world is in South Africa and it is 4 kilometers deep and to reach the center of the earth we'll have to dig a hole about 6,000 kilometers deep on the ocean floor again do you know the crust forms only 1% of the volume of the earth 84% consists of the mantle and 15% makes the core so the crust is the smallest unit of the earth's surface okay the crust it forms only 1% of the volume and mantle it consists 84% and core it consists of 15% so mantle is the largest okay mantle has the largest share then comes the core then the last one is crust it has only 1% of the volume of the earth so 84% mantle cover kore 15% core cover kore aru crust to amar only 1% of the volume cover kore okay earthor so sobotse dangor area kar ase mantelor ase aru sobotse horu area kar ase crustor ase and the radius of the earth is 6,371 kilometers keep it in mind it's very important radius of the earth kiman hoy 6,371 kilometers hoy monot rakhiba etu now word origin igneous Latin word ignis meaning fire so igneous it comes from the Latin word ignis okay and the meaning of ignis is fire. Sedimentary, Latin word sedimentum, meaning settle down. So the sedimentary word has come from the Latin word sedimentum, and the meaning of sedimentum is settle down. And metamorphic, Greek word metamorphos, meaning change of form. So metamorphic comes from the Greek word metamorphos, and the meaning of metamorphos is change of form. Ebilak monot rakhiba. Okay, keep it in mind, by heart it. Igneous to corpora aise, Latin word igneousor pora aise, aru iar meaning to hol fire. Sedimentary, Latin word pora aise sedimentum, aru ei sedimentum or meaning to hol settle down. Then metamorphic, Greek word pora aise metamorphos, aru iar meaning to hol change of form.